Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. Whispers that once floated through the corridors of NFL speculation have suddenly exploded into a thunderous roar across the football world. Nick BOSA, one of the most dominant defensive forces of this generation, has signed with the Miami Dolphins. Yes, you heard it right. The man who terrorized quarterbacks in San Francisco is now bringing his relentless energy and punishing pass rush to South Beach. It's not just a move. It feels like a declaration of intent, but even more shocking than the signing itself is what came next. BOSA, in an electrifying first statement as a Dolphin, vowed to make life miserable for every quarterback in the AFC. He didn't mince words. He didn't smile. He looked straight at the cameras and said, "This conference is on notice." And just like that, the AFC's balance of power might have shifted overnight. You have to wonder, how did this happen so fast? Just weeks ago, there were no strong indicators that BOSA was on the market, and the 49ers organization seemed firm on keeping him as the cornerstone of their defense. But behind the scenes, sources say, tensions had been bubbling for some time. Disagreements over contract structuring, long-term vision, and even defensive schemes may have caused a slow but steady fracture between BOSA and the franchise. And while San Francisco did its best to present a united front, the Dolphins were quietly watching, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce, and when they did, they came in fast, aggressive, and with an offer too big to ignore. Some insiders are calling it one of the most audacious free agency plays in recent memory. Now, let's talk about what this means for Miami. The Dolphins have been inching closer to greatness for a few seasons now, assembling one of the most electric offenses in the league and slowly patching holes on defense. But what they lacked was that one game-wrecking presence, a player who could shift the energy of an entire game with a single play, and Nick BOSA. They might have found that and more. His arrival sends a message to the entire league. Miami is done playing it safe. They're here to dominate. Pairing BOSA with a young, hungry defensive unit could be the missing piece that turns this team into a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And make no mistake, this isn't just about stats or Pro Bowl nods. It's about establishing a new defensive identity in the AFC. But here's the real kicker. BOSA didn't just sign and smile for the cameras. He lit a fire. In his introductory press conference, BOSA took a bold stance, stating he was ready to hunt and that AFC quarterbacks should keep their heads on a swivel. That's not typical welcome to the team talk. That's warfare language, and you better believe the message was received. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, those are just a few of the names that BOSA now has circled on his internal hit list. And while some fans might dismiss it as bravado, those who know BOSA's mindset understand when he talks like this, he backs it up with unrelenting force. It's not hype, it's a warning. As the news continues to ripple through the NFL community, you can almost feel the pulse of the AFC changing. Coaches are watching film, offensive coordinators are sweating, and quarterbacks are having nightmares because facing Nick BOSA once a year is hard enough now. For many teams in the AFC East, it could be twice. Imagine being a young quarterback trying to find your rhythm only to see number 97 explode off the edge, collapsing your pocket before your second read. That's the kind of pressure that alters game plans and seasons. It forces mistakes. It wins games. And now, that threat lives in Miami, behind the scenes. It's believed that Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel played a pivotal role in bringing BOSA to Miami. The two share a history from their 49ers days, and sources close to the situation say that connection helps smooth negotiations and build trust. It's no secret that McDaniel is building something special in Miami, blending a high-octane offense with a more disciplined, evolving defense. Adding BOSA not only gives him a weapon, it gives him an enforcer, a tone setter, someone who can change the emotional tempo of an entire locker room. That kind of leadership, especially on the defensive side of the ball, is invaluable. And in BOSA, McDaniel didn't just get a pass rusher, he got a field general. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? The reactions across the league have been intense. Social media erupted the moment the signing was announced, with players, analysts, and fans flooding timelines with shock, admiration, and in some cases, panic. Analysts on NFL Network were already updating their power rankings before the press conference even ended. And while it's too early to predict exactly how this will play out, the tone is clear. Miami is now a problem, and with a top-tier edge. Rusher like BOSA, their defense just became the kind you circle on the schedule and hope to survive. It's not just about sacks, it's about disrupting everything. There's also the psychological angle. BOSA's presence changes how offenses approach the Dolphins. Expect more max protection schemes, expect quicker throws, expect offenses to chip, double, and scheme away from his side, all of which open opportunities for the rest of Miami's defense to thrive. It's the classic domino effect. One elite player forces an offense to adapt, and in doing so, weakens their versatility. That's the real value of a player like BOSA. He changes your math. He shifts your priorities. And in a league where every second counts, that's the edge that wins playoff games. Let's not forget the long-term implications here. BOSA's contract is massive, reportedly breaking records for defensive players. That's a lot of faith from the Dolphins front office, but it also means this is a long-term investment in dominance. They're not just trying to win this year, they're building a sustained contender. A team that expects to be in the conversation for years to come. That's a mindset shift. And in many ways, BOSA symbolizes that transformation. He's not just part of the Dolphins, now he's the face of their new era, and it's clear. From the moment he signed, he embraced that responsibility fully. So now the countdown begins. Training camp is around the corner. The preseason will offer glimpses. But come week 1, all eyes will be on Miami. Will this bold move pay off? Will BOSA live up to the hype in a new uniform, in a new city, with new expectations? Or will the weight of this deal prove too heavy? One thing is certain, there's no going back. The AFC has been warned. The hunt has begun. And in Nick BOSA's own words, this is just the beginning. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.